What's the story that you used to tell yourself?
That's a good question. That the bad decisions that I made in my past were the reason that I did not have the present that I wanted.
Go on.
Well, for a very long time, I believed that because I did less than good things in my youth, that I didn't go to college, that I didn't take advantage of the opportunities that I had, that meant that somehow I had missed my chance to live the life that I wanted and accomplish anything of value.
God damn, you're good.
I do what I can.
Wow. The clarity.
Thank you.
So living a life of doing bad shit and getting up to the age that you're at now to have this level of concise clarity and being so fucking articulate.
Thank you.
Where did that come from?
So me being articulate was something that I took a very, very long time to work at. Like, I used to speak terribly. Like, my speech used to be filled with slang and all types of other shit. I had some weird combination of some West Coast / Southern accent thing going on. And at one point in time in life, I realized that if I was ever going to actually do anything, I needed to be able to communicate clearly and properly and not talk like an idiot. So I took several years where I walked around sounding like an idiot, ironically enough. But I would pause whenever someone would ask me things and think about exactly what it was that I wanted to say before I said anything. And I got a word of the day calendar, and I would plug random ass words into things that made sense, like theoretically, but not when you actually said it. So years I spent sounding like an idiot. People told me I sounded like a robot. People told me I sounded weird. I was like, cool, whatever. This is what I need to do in order to be able to speak better. That was a thing that was very important to me. So I decided to work at it and commit myself to it. As far as the clarity thing goes, I believe, or I like to say that I've always been self-aware and self-reflective. I spend a lot of time in my head thinking about things and looking over things. And once I got to the point that I was able to take accountability for my life, it kind of gave me a different perspective on all of the thoughts that I had. And I was able to look at it from the perspective of what can you learn from this?
We spent a lot of time today talking about accountability.
We did.
But we didn't spend any time talking about initiative. And what you're just describing right now is the initiative that most people will not take. You grew up in LA County.
Yep.
Predominantly black neighborhood.
Yep. Well, for the beginning of my life, yes. When I was, up until I was 15, 16, I got kicked out of the high school that I was at for various reasons, and I went to a predominantly Mexican school.
Okay. So regardless, still very much, you could have become a product of your environment.
1,000%. I was for a long time.
Did become a product of your environment.
I interestingly enough, so I want to say, yes, I was a product of my environment in that I was the people that I was around, but I will say that a lot of people will sit there and say they had bad parents. I had good parents. Both my parents were there. I mean, my dad wasn't around a lot, but not because he was off fucking around doing dumb shit. He was at work.
He didn't leave for a pack of smokes.
No, he was present. So I had a relationship with my dad where I barely saw him. Like, I would see him once every third week for a few days because he traveled a lot for work. But he was doing that to be able to provide. We lived in Southern California, still expensive. So he was doing that to be able to take care of me, my mother, and my sister. So as I got older, I understand that. As a child, I had an issue with it because I'm like, you're never around. He was a disciplinarian. So who the fuck are you telling me what to do? I don't see your ass anyway. Right. But as I got older, I was able to put that into a different perspective. But yes, I would say I was a product of my environment otherwise.
Well, this is just important because we talk about initiative and we talk about, everybody hears the story of somebody who could have been a product of their environment that figured it out, turned their life around. The stories like Oprah Winfrey and all the people that probably didn't have the opportunities that others did that turned their life around. But I don't think people understand that the level of initiative that it takes to be able to say, I'm going to teach myself how to speak again. And then I'm going to make a career out of it. And to be able to change your wiring and to take notice. I think the biggest thing is that most people don't take initiative because they don't fucking notice.
Correct.
Because they're wrapped up in their environment. What made you take notice? Other than, was it a new surrounding, new environment? Was it not feeling enough? Where was the imposter syndrome?
So I have different thoughts about imposter syndrome, but I'll get to that in a second. But as a whole, a lot of people ask me this. I don't have I know a lot of people have like this specific event came and changed my life and I was just here and then all of a sudden shit hit me. That wasn't the case for me. Like I spent years wanting to be better than where I was. And I was slowly making steps towards it, but still not anywhere that I really wanted to go and still not doing things that I really wanted to do. And I kept thinking that what I was doing was the problem. Like I spent time in real estate. I was flipped houses. I worked as a personal trainer. I sold gym memberships. I've done a lot of different things. I've done some less than legal things, allegedly. And none of it was ever satisfying to me, and none of it was taking me to where it was that I wanted to go. So at some point, I took a look back and thought, well, I don't like any of these things. And the common denominator between everything that I've ever done in my life is me. I've been present. So maybe the problem is me. Maybe I'm the problem. And it was from there that I kind of started my personal development journey of wanting to work on myself and figure out what I needed to do different.
Step one of personal development is self-awareness.
1,000%.
And so going through enough experience and figuring out what you didn't want to do, failing, maybe not failing, but not finding purpose, not finding pleasure, not finding any sort of passion in things, will, to the right person, develop self-awareness. When I talk about imposter syndrome, I talk about a level of care.
Okay.
I truly believe most people, good people, have imposter syndrome because they want to do good. And they're afraid that they can't fulfill on the good that they want to do.
Okay.
So if you're telling yourself you need to work on yourself to the point, and you're so self-aware, it is because you care about a new outcome or you care about making an impact.
So it started off as me caring about a new outcome. And through seeking a new outcome, I realized that what I cared about was making an impact. But that wasn't my initial quest.
Yeah, I think that's how it is for a lot of people.
All of my initial quests were very self-centered and self-focused. Like I wanted to get to a point where I was making enough money that I could do what it was that I wanted to do and not answer to anybody. And it's when I got there and I was still like, what is the point of this? That I was like, well, maybe something else is wrong.
I don't think that's a problem, though, for getting started.
No,
I think
not
it's
at
a
all.
problem if that's what you always chase.
If that's what it continues as is a thing, but I think that's what most they don't get past that. Mm-hmm. And I also think that's why they never get past that. They never get to where it is that they want to go because it remains a very selfish thing.
Right. I think that people that read, like we were talking a little bit that I'm not really a money motivated person, right? But I love Think and Grow Rich, right? But I think that somebody who would say like they're not money motivated, they're not greedy and whatever, and if somebody maybe who even has a distaste for people who are money motivated and greedy would read that with a very closed mind, thinking that, oh, this is all just about making money, without realizing the rest of the purpose behind the book. Napoleon Hill's son became rich from working with hearing aids and helping people with hearing loss, right? But his goal wasn't, he was focused on the money, but he was focused on the money from helping people find their hearing again. There has to be a better cause. And so as you kind of develop this, how did it start to transform into a more selfless? Because I think that you can be selfishly selfless. And you should be selfishly selfless.
I think the most selfless thing you could do is be selfish.
Well, yeah. Right. Plane goes down, you put the mask on yourself first.
Got to. Can't help anybody if you can't help yourself.
And you don't want to be a burden on everybody.
Like most people.
Like most people. We're going to get into that too. We're going to get into a lot here.
I am all the way here for it.
Wow. This has really started off really good. And I'm not shocked. So tell me about that turning point. When did the motivation change? When did the direction change to where where it became more about impact than outcome?
So again, this wasn't a thing that I have a specific moment. This is just kind of, I went down a path, I dived into podcasts, dived into books, and becoming very self-reflective of looking at stuff, right? And I come to think of, I started to pick apart different aspects that I enjoyed about different parts of things that I had done in my life, right? Like what I was doing, one of the reasons that I stopped doing real estate, investment real estate, is because the industry can be very predatory, because just by the nature of it, if I'm trying to buy a house that's $300,000 for $140,000, it's kind of taking advantage of someone in a bad situation. I'm not saying that good can't come out of that, but I just didn't feel great about what it was that I was doing. But what I did feel good about in that was when there was someone who was maybe going to lose their home due to some sort of taxes or whatever, and I was able to help them out and get some money they wouldn't have gotten while still getting the house. So when I was able to benefit myself and also benefit someone else's life, that's why I like personal training, was when I didn't like the sales aspect of personal training, but I did enjoy when I was able to actually help someone get into shape. Same thing when I would get someone signed up for the gym. Yeah, I like making money from signing up gym memberships, but I also liked when people would genuinely start working out and genuinely change their life when they did it, like more so than just a random number. So it was taking a look back and seeing what it was that I was actually getting out of things, and I realized that that was having some sort of positive impact in people's lives. So I started to explore, well, what's something that I can do to positively impact people's lives as a whole?
Where does discipline play a role?
I think discipline plays a role in everything that you do, because there is nothing that's fully enjoyable in every aspect, right? So if you want to get the most out of anything, any avenue, anything that you do in life, you have to endure doing things that you don't want to do. Otherwise, you're going to half-ass everything. You'd be a half-ass video game player if you're not going to sit there and practice when you don't feel like it. So nothing's infinitely enjoyable.
So, in my eyes, personal development starts with self-awareness, right? Self-awareness should lead to discipline, routine, and trying to find some sort of passion and purpose. That develops self-worth, confidence.
Okay. I think that, from my perspective, I believe that passion is born from purpose.
Right. Well, yeah. Or vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, it can be depending on what it is that you're passionate about.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Discipline's a funny thing.
Okay.
You and I are both pretty disciplined people.
I like to think so.
Do you tend to find, because I always am like, I've always had it in my head that discipline is going to bring me the most amount of confidence, and it does. But I feel like discipline points out more of my flaws.
1,000%. But I would say that that's where the confidence is born from, because it points out the flaws. And then if you're the type of person who's going to take the initiative to do something with that and bring them up, that just adds on to your confidence. Because like you said, self-awareness. Once you realize what area that you're lacking in, some people will sit there and hide from it, and they'll run from it, or they're quiet about it, or they'll sit and go to therapy and talk about it forever and figure out the root cause that happened at their 12th birthday party or whatever the fuck. But other people will say, well, this is one of my shortcomings. What can I do to bring this up so I'm no longer lacking in any area? I think that should be the goal. I'm going to sip this.
I got to sit on that for a second. I love that. Yeah. Yes. You hammer very hard on self-awareness in your content.
Yes.
And it's something that most people do lack. You hit hard on mental health. You hit hard on obesity. You hit hard on a number of things, and I do too. And we share a lot of similar beliefs with it. Mine come from on the obesity side. Mine comes from a point of actually being there and feeling like it. Were you ever obese?
I was not obese. No.
Were you fat?
I was skinny fat.
Skinny fat.
Yes.
It's almost worse than being obese.
I personally say it is, yes. Because it's not like, I'm not, you're
not built like queso, but you're built like a quesadilla.
Yeah, just shaped really stupid and no matter, every single size of clothes looks dumb on you. It's just a very, very awkward
I feel like women are more attracted to an obese guy than a skinny fat guy.
Yeah, 1,000%. I had like a big stomach, but like my chest was small, but I had big hips.
Yeah,
it was just fucking built terribly. I hated it.
Yeah, it's not a good
Hated
look.
that shit. Awful.
So when do you think that some of the words that you say are a reflection of how you felt then?
Every single thing, like, Every single thing that I say is worded in a way or that I would have needed to hear it or as a message to me at where I was at one point in life.
You fuckers need to hear this. Because when you see the brutality that comes off the screen from him, you need to understand that the stuff that we say as coaches, personal development mentors, influencers, whatever the fuck you want to call us, this is stuff that we needed to hear ourselves. When I used to tie my Iron Rangers, I'm wearing Iron Rangers today. When I used to tie my Iron Rangers when I was 360 pounds and my fucking boxers would crease permanently and I would break a sweat, that motherfucker needed to hear the words that were coming out of Jason Lamar's mouth. And so when I listen to him now, when I don't have those problems anymore, it resonates to the old self of mine, and all I can do is say fucking amen. You need to hear this. This is uncomfortable. But so is being fat, and so is being lazy, and so is living a life that is way below what you could actually accomplish if you just establish some self-awareness and some discipline. Sorry, back to you.
No, all good. I am here for it.
Back to you, Jason.
I'm all the way here for this because I fully agree. And people have this thing where I'm a big believer that shame is one of the most powerful motivators in the world.
Ooh.
There are so many people who will sit there and say, well, shame is a bad thing, or when I feel ashamed of the fact that I drink, it makes me drink more. That's not because you're ashamed. That's because you're stupid. A stupid person finds themselves in a hole, is mad they're in a hole, and digs the hole deeper. But the point, most people have never actually got to the point where they truly feel ashamed of themselves. Because shame is much like discomfort, right? Like if you're sitting somewhere, it's not comfortable, you fucking move. You try and figure out what to do with it. Shame is the exact same thing. Like when you look in the mirror and you truly get to the point where it's like, I am absolutely disgusted with the person that I see. I need to change this. I was at that point one time. I remember I had to be 20 years old, and it was nighttime in my apartment. I looked in the mirror and my fucking chest was all flat and my shoulders were rounded forward and my stomach was sticking out. Like, wow, you look fucking disgusting. You need to do something about this. And that from that moment forward, I started going to the gym. And I started working out. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, I know that this is the key to fixing this. And I am not going to deal with this any longer than I have to. I have felt that shame, and that shame is the reason that I got better. I spent many years telling myself I wanted to wake up early in the morning. I want to be someone who wakes up at 5 a.m. My alarm would go off at 5 a.m. I hit my alarm clock. And at a certain point, I was like, what a bitch that you are, that you can't even get out of bed when you hear noise in the morning. Is that who it is that you want to be? This is fucking disgusting. And from that point on, I was like, cool, when my alarm goes off, I get up. The shame has been the catalyst to get me to adopt all of these things that I ain't feel like fucking doing. Shame created my discipline.
So this is so funny. This is hitting me hard because I do a meditation every morning that actually Jay Ferrugia taught me called Your Most Elite Self. And it's literally a list. And it's every detail. From how you tie your shoes to how you clip your nails,
yep,
to how you make people feel, how you make people stand when you walk in a room, to how intentional every bite of food is. And doing that for so long, it developed like a sense of shame in walking away from that person. To where it's like, you know, if I were to ever think like, because I don't cheat on my diet, okay? I just don't. I don't have, you know, we talked about ice cream. I don't have the ice cream. Because to me, it's like, I look at the fat fucking guy sitting on the fucking curb, licking an ice cream cone, looking like a total pussy. Because by the way, you could look like me or you and be eating an ice cream cone and I could kick your ass.
Yeah, facts. 1,000%.
Ice cream takes all your power away.
You can't eat
an ice cream cone. Yeah,
1,000%.
You look like a fag.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Absolutely, every single time. Same thing with a popsicle. Sitting there eating a popsicle, you look gay as shit.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. So to me, that level of like instilled shame and makes it, when I think like, and I don't think about drinking anymore, but because I think of this close-faced talker who's told the same exact story 3 times, that's fucking shame. That's shame. And it's like, you ever watched The Office?
Yeah.
You know how like in The Office, like how like you feel cringy, you feel the shame for the characters when they're going through it?
Yep.
That has been, by doing this meditation, and it has literally, and maybe it's not supposed to work this way, But it worked this way for me, to where it's like when I see things like that, it's like, ugh. It's such a fucking turnoff.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. It's like if I pictured myself in it, I would feel lower than the man that I am.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that I feel that I think I'm better than that person, but
I have thoughts on that.
do you think you're better?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. No, I don't give a here's the thing. People say you shouldn't feel like you're better. Fuck that. Here's the idea that everybody is equal is created by losers to make losers feel good for being losers. No, everybody is not fucking equal. Like, we're talking about people who can't wake up earlier. You don't have what it takes to stand up in the morning. What are you talking about? You are not equivalent to me. You spend 8,000 calories a day on random DoorDash orders because it makes you happy for a brief moment, but you can barely find pants to fit you. No, we are not equal. It's some people who sit there and spend all of their money fucking doing drugs on the corner. Like, elevate your life. Everybody can be equal, 1,000%. I believe that, but everybody is not. Like, your decisions have value. People create and put value into the world. Like, there are some people who spend their lives doing nothing but taking advantage of people, doing nothing but taking from people, thinking only of themselves and what it is that they can get. And there are other people who go out and spend their whole entire lives trying to better everyone else's life. They go to fucking third world countries and feed children. They bring water to fucking African nations and all of this shit. This person is superior to the person who is only out for themselves. There are certain things are better than certain other things, and the people who do the better things are better than the people who don't. That's ridiculous to think anything else. Insanity.
But Jason, we're all human.
Who gives a fuck? But these are fucking coping mechanisms, and the problem with these things is they give people an out to be less than they can be. That, well, we're all equal at the end of the day. We're all gonna die. Yeah, we're all gonna fucking die, and that's perfectly fucking fine. But if you go watch a movie, the movie is going to end. Does that mean you don't care what happens in the in between? Like, the middle still fucking matters.
100%. Yeah, if I go to the movies, I want to be, front row or center.
You care where you sit, you care what you eat, you care what happens during the movie, because you care about the experience. It's gonna end anyway, though. According to some people's logic, we're all gonna die, so you might as well just do what the fuck. That's stupid.
That is stupid.
That's dumb as shit. Excuses. Every fucking where. Nothing but coping mechanisms. I can't stand this shit. That's what most people's life philosophy is, nothing but coping mechanisms. All of it. Their reason for being fat, their reason for drinking, their reason for not trying, their reason for whatever it is. It's all coping mechanisms. This is most people's life philosophies. That's why I don't get anywhere. Because they never have to feel the shame of the fact that they are failures. Because they have so many fucking coping mechanisms for everything. Which is why they stay where they are.
So the coping mechanism in itself is the reason for the coping mechanism.
Yes.
That's the way you're describing it.
It's a fucking rabbit hole of victimhood and nothingness.
Right. I'm less than, my parents didn't pay attention to me. That's their coping mechanism.
Yep.
And then they use a coping mechanism.
On top of that, yeah.
On top of it.
My parents didn't love me, so therefore I eat a lot. And because I eat a lot, I've developed this eating disorder. And because of that, I'm going to be fat forever. But it doesn't really matter because we're all equal, whether we're in shape or fat.
So they're just stacking coping mechanisms.
On top of each other. Just whatever it takes to make sure that they never actually have to feel the shame of their own failures.
Like a double-double.
Yep.
Oof.
It's the world we live in today.
It really is. So shame.
Yeah. Shame is amazing.
Shame is amazing. Shame changed my life.
Same.
Shame brought me to asking for help.
Yep.
If I didn't have the shame, then I would have never asked for help.
You have no reason to.
No, because I would have just leaned on the coping mechanism.
Exactly.
Which I did for a long time.
Same.
I never thought about stacking coping mechanisms.
All of it. You look at most people, it's just piles of coping mechanisms. Entire life.
So how does undoing that look in your eyes? Is it peeling one off the other, or is it literally flipping a switch?
I think that so people have these long processes for everything. And I'm a big believer that is just a form of procrastination. Because, like, for example, if you drink, you could go to AA. I'm not saying AA is terrible, whatever. It works for some people. That's perfectly fine.
Sure.
You could take your 12 steps, You could do all of the 12 steps. But if you don't stop drinking, it doesn't matter that you did any of those 12 steps. And the other end, you can't just stop drinking without doing any of the 12 steps. So the 12 steps is just space between you and your goal. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing with all of the stories and stuff. It's the same thing people talk about their therapy with their shadow work, right? At the end of the day, what your shadow work amounts to is you either changing your perspective on what happened or no longer thinking about it. You can just do that from the fucking beginning. You don't need this big, long backstory for it.
So the reason that traditional therapy is set up under Sigmund Freud is because it's a fantastic business opportunity.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So we start unstacking and unpiling. Well, that's just hours sitting on the couch.
Exactly. It's to get to the exact. I tell people all the time, you have your trauma. Who gives a fuck? Look at it differently. And like, well, it's not that easy. You need to heal. You need to figure out the cause. No, the fuck you don't. It's this. The end result is the same. You're going to go through all of these hours, and you're going to figure out that you have a bad relationship with food or you drink because something happened at your 6th birthday party because of the relationship that you have with your mother and your father, and they had a specific relationship with their grandmother, and it's just going to wind up with you not needing to drink. You could do it any fucking way. Who cares?
Right.
What's the point of all this extra shit? Nothing.
Yeah, it's really so. In fact, I think the loophole, the shortcut, is rock bottom. When you can say enough is enough.
Yeah, but you can say that enough is enough at any point in time.
Sure. Well, everybody's rock bottom looks different.
That's true.
But recognizing that it is your bottom is the important part. Shame.
Yes. Just in relation to the therapy thing, I would also argue that when you go and give your problem a backstory, you're just making it harder to get rid of.
Yeah.
Because it goes from I have to stop drinking to I have to get over these old memories and remove a whole entire part of myself.
Yeah, you're adding layers.
Yeah.
Player.
Exactly. You're just complicating shit. So just do the thing. And like you said with the coping mechanisms, you could go through all of these different layers, figure out where it is that they came from, figure out why you have them, or you could just sit there and skip all of that and say everything's my fucking fault.
That's the ownership.
Yes, everything's your fault.
Everything is your fault.
Yeah, all of it. Period. It's the only thing that benefits you. Doesn't even matter if it's not. It's your fault. It's the only thing that's useful.
Yeah. That's a very tough pill for most people to swallow.
It is, but the thing is, it's the pill that is going to actually heal them.
It's the red pill.
Yeah, it's the only thing. The only thing that works is it doesn't matter. Maybe your parents beat you. That's fine. That's your fault. It doesn't matter if it wasn't. Because all you can do is all you can do. You can't control other people. You can only figure out what it is that you can do, what you need to do differently, what you should have done differently, and what you will do differently moving forward. And the best way to do that is to accept accountability and therefore figure out where you went wrong and what you could have done.
It's not very empathetic.
I disagree.
Explain.
I think most people confuse empathy with enabling. I think most people sit there and say, well, you're not being empathetic because somebody says, well, I can't stop eating. And you're not saying, oh, poor you, that's sad. No, the problem is you can't stop eating because you're choosing to not stop eating. This is the empathy. If empathy is me putting myself in your shoes, then I understand that I am fat because I eat too much. I understand that I'm addicted to drugs because I chose to do drugs. I understand that I'm poor because I'm lazy and I make excuses. So I am empathizing with you by telling you that you are a fuck up, because if I was in your shoes, I would know that I was a fuck up.
Should start a volleyball team.
But yeah, so most people just want to hear they want the pat on the back. It's okay, poor you. That doesn't do anything. You get your little sympathy, you get your dopamine hit from your sympathy, and then you go right back on to doing what it was that you were doing. Who does that help? How are you better? How did I make your life better? I think what most people consider what I call empathy is them giving themselves points for being sympathetic to somebody else. Because I said something.
Empathy is more selfish than anything.
Yeah, 1,000.
By the giver.
How most people use it, yeah.
Right. Just the same as helping somebody in general, right? Referring. Most of the time it's more self-satisfying than it is actually helping, which is so funny. That people are afraid to ask, and without realizing that most people are so fucking selfish that they want to give it to them to begin with.
Yep, exactly. But you never know these things until you ask. If people are afraid to ask, because people are afraid of being rejected.
Assuming rejection.
Assuming rejection, yes.
You can't do that.
I mean, you can, but the thing is, at the end of the day, it's like, you got rejected. Whoop-de-doo. Someone said no. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't really understand that. Yeah. Go, sell something. Learn how to sell something. You'll experience rejection a lot, and you'll get used to it, and it works out okay over time.
But people are terrified of other people's opinions.
The most common fear.
Yes, 1,000%. It's
Over burning alive.
Stupidest fears.
People would rather burn alive than understand somebody's opinion, whether it's real or not.
I'm sure they say that until they actually get lit on fire, and then they figure out what an actual problem is.
Yeah.
But being afraid of other people's opinion, I think that's one of the stupidest fears that there is. I know it's a common problem, but it's also a really stupid problem.
But most of the people that are afraid of other people's opinions are casting themselves or putting themselves in a lifestyle that would provide a far worse opinion of them than otherwise.
Yep.
I'm afraid of someone's opinion, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah, because people stay poor because they don't want to be judged by poor people for them trying to not be poor. It's like people stay fat for the exact same reason. But the interesting thing is, even if you are somebody who must be afraid of someone else's opinions, right? People pick the stupidest people because, yeah, poor people will judge you for trying to get rich, but rich people will judge you for staying poor. Fit people will judge you for staying fat. So if you're going to be worried about other people's opinions, why not worry about the people who are doing better's opinions? If you're going to create imaginary opinions anyway.
Why do you think it is that people care so much about the opinions of their peers?
Because it's who that they're around. I think it's how you're conditioned from the time that you're a child.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be the last person picked and all of that shit. So you're...
Do you think it's also because it's like a safe zone? Like, if it doesn't work out, they have that to fall back
Yeah, then at
on?
least I can hang out with these people. But do you want to hang out with those people?
Right, which is why it's probably far more important to cut them completely out altogether.
The people who are judging you are the people you don't need to be around anyway. So the fact that people are going to judge you for trying to do better is just them letting you know that you don't want to be around them. So you should welcome it.
It's the truth.
People hate that.
A lot.
It's their least favorite thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like the truth either at first.
It's unpleasant until you realize that it's empowering.
Oh, it's the best.
There's nothing better than the shit that you don't want to hear once you understand that.
Yeah, being able to stand out naked in your own truth is the most empowering thing ever.
1,000%.
Knowing that you're an open book. Bro, when I first got into what I do now, I said I was just going to go fucking full set. I'm going to go on podcasts. I'm going to talk about my fucking criminal history, my affairs, my fucking, all of it. And I still, to this day, am wide open about everything. And I've talked about it a number of times, and I feel like if there's ever a highlight reel of me talking about this, like John Oliver does and stuff, but I learned it and desired it from 8 Mile.
Okay.
Eminem's last scene against Lotto, and he's like,
Yeah.
I live in a trailer, I'm fucked up, my mom's a whore. And then he hands him the mic, and,
What are you gonna say now?
You took everything away from them. And I thought that scene always struck me because I had so many fucking skeletons. And the minute I didn't, I took everybody's power away.
Yep.
What the fuck are you going to say about me?
I think that goes for a lot of things, right? Like, people are so worried about getting offended or getting mad, and like these things lie upon you. Like, people could say whatever that they want about you, but you being offended is up to you. You being hurt, you feeling exposed, you feeling embarrassed. All of these things are up to you. It's not about what happens to you. It's how you choose to interpret what
Well, the way people behave around you is up to you.
Yeah, 1,000%.
You know, people say, John, he's always so negative about other people. No, he's not around me. He's not.
People feed off your energy. Like, they're negative to you because you're negative. Mm-hmm. And if you're positive and they're still negative, well, get the fuck from around them. You don't worry about it.
Right. And you said earlier before we came on air that negativity is the only curse word.
Yes. 1,000.
Not fuck, not shit, not cock, not balls.
Nope. The idea that's profanity, that's curse, is so fucking small-minded. Like, oh, you said a no-no word. Like, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? when you speak negatively, when you complain, when you gossip, when you put people down, when you wish ill on others, like you're actually like bringing all this negative energy around. You're bringing everyone else around you down. And you're putting bad shit out into the universe. That's profanity. That's curse words. That's foul language.
Yeah, I've learned that people who use the most profanity are the most honest.
I agree with that.
Because you don't give a fuck what people think about you, so you're going to articulate it that you don't give a fuck what you think about me.
Yeah, you say what's on your mind, how it's on your mind. Some people don't like that shit. Such is life.
Yeah, he curses like a sailor. I've liked every single sailor I've ever met.
I don't know that I've ever met many sailors, but I get the premise.
I suggest you maybe hang around with them. Turn into a flapper girl, one of your favorite cross-dressers you talk about.
Oh my God, fucking cross-dressers. I'm here for that too. Whatever route you would like to go.
No. But I mean, yeah, I'd like to touch on the offense and offensiveness that we see all day. And
beautiful.
And you know, obviously we both agree that, you know, people are only offended because it's a direct reflection of how they actually feel about themselves. But people who show offense, take offense, and react because of offense, that's a new level of pussy.
I agree with that. But I think nowadays it's been kind of weaponized and there's all these people who just get mad about shit because they can't actually do anything about their problems, but they've been shown that if they complain about something.
Well, because it works.
Exactly.
We've allowed it to work.
We haven't, but people have.
Well, yeah.
Because they just bow down to the shit.
Right.
Every time someone's like, oh no, you said something offensive. Oh no, you're racist. You're homophobic. Like, who fucking cares? Mm-hmm. How about that?
Yeah, I found that poor people take offense to things more.
Poor people take offense to everything.
I got in trouble in LA because I asked for the help. And it wasn't even by the help that scoffed at me. They went and got the help.
Who got mad at this? Wait, what were they?
A white woman that was sitting at the VIP table.
Okay, man. Here's the shit. Here's the thing. People have this. This is this fucking ideology that I hate. Is this performative offense about everything, and everything is offensive and racial fucking sensitive. It's all a bunch of fucking nonsense. Some people are help. Such is life. I want the help.
The guy who comes and cleans the cups up from the VIP table is the help.
Who gives a shit?
Thank you.
Like, well, it's the same thing. You can't. People experiencing homelessness. I was homeless. You think I gave a fuck that somebody called me homeless? My problem is I got a fucking house. This is the problem. I sleep outside. I don't give a fuck what you call me. Like, what? Who is this for? It's for you, so you can feel good about this. So you can pat yourself on the back. Oh, I'm compassionate to the less fortunate. Shut the fuck up. Hate that shit.
Yeah. The help.
It's the help. What do you want? I say the poor's all the time. You're fucking poor. What do you want?
Well, yeah. Poor is definitely a mindset. So, you know.
1,000%.
And there are people that just, in general, repel money.
Yes.
We talked about this earlier, too. Look at the bank statements.
Yep.
The poors go out of their way to stay poor.
It is what they do all day, every day. Their lifestyle is maintaining their poverty.
Explain.
So first and foremost, there's a big difference between poor people and people who are poor. The former are always going to be where it is they are because of their mindset. The other ones have just not gotten to where it is that they need to go yet. I was once a person who was poor because I was not someone who lived in my condition. I was not someone who defined myself by my circumstances and the people around me. People who are poor people are not accountable. Poor people blame everyone else for their problems. Poor people are entitled. Poor people think that someone else is going to come and fix their situation. Poor people think that there are people who are successful due to malevolence or some sort of nefarious shit or luck or just, you know, the universe just said, hey, here's some money for you guys, and they were left out. They believe there's some shadow system that's preventing them from working harder and making them park their cars on their lawn and spend money on stupid shit. It's a mindset, which leads to their actions, which leads to their situations. Like people have this weird thing that is like, well, if only I was given this opportunity, then everything would be better. But the thing is, you don't have the opportunity because you're not qualified for the opportunity. If you were, it would have presented itself by now.
I like that you said qualified for the and not deserving.
Tomato, tomato.
Not really.
No? In what way?
Qualified for the opportunity means that you've created the opportunity, that you've put yourself in a position for it.
Yes.
Deserving would mean entitled.
I think that people get everything that they deserve and deserve everything that they get. I think that if you go to the gym every single day and you do a workout, a real workout, and you follow a diet every single day, no matter what it is, no matter how it is that you are feeling, then you will get in shape and you will deserve to be in shape. I think if you spend all day, every single day, eating a bunch of food, laying on the couch and doing nothing, you will become fat and you will deserve to be fat. Because you earned your fatness. You earned your in shapeness. So I think earned and deserved are the same thing.
Interesting.
Or they at least tie in together.
I like that. Actually, no, I set my cup down hard because you fucked me up right there. Because I agree with you, goddammit. I was trying to I felt like I've been serving you softballs, and then right there you just hit me with a hard ball, and you're right.
I think that most people use deserved in the way that you're saying it.
Then the poor version.
People are like, well, I deserve better. No, you don't. If you deserved better, you would have better. People be in shitty relationships. Well, I deserve to be loved. No, you don't. If you did, you would be loved. It's life. You get what you deserve.
Yep.
Because you earned that shit.
Yeah. Qualified. It's good. Tell me about the book.
Oh, 100 mindset tricks and perspective shifts. It's basically what it is it's more so than anything a collection of a bunch of essays that you could take for whatever situation you might have going on to give you a different perspective on it, because that's where everything starts, is your perspective, how it is that you view things. It dictates how you move forward.
Interesting. Who's the targeted person for it?
Anyone who has some degree of victim mentality, any sort of negativity that they are dealing with and are pessimistic about people, regular things that people deal with, whatever the case may be. I know a lot of people were like, you should have a niche and a super specific thing, and I should be writing to 32-year-old people who've been drinking for 6 years. Like, that's not my thing, really.
But it is 90% of the population of the world.
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
But not 90% of the population of the world can take your directness.
This is true. But
they all need it.
Yes. And people will come to things when it is that they need it. So some people might not be in the place for it right now, and that's fine. Maybe a year or two down the road, they'll stumble back upon it, and they will pick it up and get something out of it.
They should probably still buy it.
They should probably still buy it.
Yeah. Your directness is refreshing.
Thank you.
It's needed.
I like to think so.
It's always a reminder to me when, because I engage with most of your stuff, so your stuff continuously comes up, and I love the fuck out of it because it gives me more material. I DM you all the time. I'm like, stealing this one. And it gives me more material, but it's always a constant reminder, of the person that I'd never want to become again. And I say become again because if you're not diligent in your discipline, because it's like your credit score. It's very hard to build your credit, but it's really easy to fuck it up.
Yep.
And your credibility is so easy to fuck up.
Yep.
And it's so hard to maintain and grow, especially in a world where everybody's trying to fake their way into credibility. But by being consistent and by showing up and by telling the truth, you really can't fail. And you consistently show up and you tell the truth. What are your thoughts on charisma?
I think charisma as a whole is a product of confidence. And I think confidence is a product of competence.
You're right. Can I tell you something?
Absolutely.
Charisma is power, presence, and warmth.
Okay.
And you have to have all three.
Okay.
Your presence on social media shows power and presence, but it doesn't show warmth.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But you in person show all three.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I was stoked about the power and presence when you came, or when you were coming, when you said you would come and do this show and spend the day with me. I was stoked about that. I wasn't looking for charisma.
Okay.
But because the topic came up and I reflect on like the person I see on the screen, now the person that I know in person, the warmth is there. You know that like barely anybody is charismatic.
Yeah, that's
like it's probably the rarest. Confidence is everywhere.
That's
charisma is like very few people have that. Confidence, power. When you walk in a room, you carry the room. Presence is the greatest gift you can give somebody. And warmth is you can make somebody feel safe, welcome, and comfortable around you. And when you showed up, you carried all three. Very rarely do I have a guest that shows all three. Your content's not meant to show warmth.
No.
Your confidence is meant to tell truth and hurt people's feelings.
Yes.
And those are feelings that need to be heard.
1,000%.
And heard.
Yes.
Shame needs to happen.
Yes.
And if anybody gets anything out of this, understand that shame is not a bad thing.
No.
Shame and pride might be a bad thing.
I think it depends on. So I think that if you stay in a state of shame, yeah, that's a bad thing. But if you're truly in a state of shame, I don't think that you can stay there. Now, I think pride can be good and can be bad depending on what it is that you do with it. Because, for example, I have too much pride to hit my snooze button when my alarm goes off. I have too much pride to sit there and binge eat a bunch of fucking fast food because can't be seen walking around like a fat ass. I have too much pride to squander my days doing nothing because I don't want to go back to being a poor person. Now, some people have pride in the other direction where they don't want to ask for help, or they don't want to be seen trying, or they don't want to be seen.
But they disguise that as humility.
Yes.
That's a problem.
I agree. So again, everything is good, everything is bad depending on what you choose to do with it. So most people use most things stupidly. Mm-hmm. Pride being one of them. Yeah.
So if somebody sees a reel of Jason Lamar's and they say, man, this guy's a dick. Okay. And they might, you might.
Yeah, probably.
And good. But understand the man behind this is not what you think. You wouldn't deliver things the way that you deliver them if you didn't want people to be better.
Yes, 1,000%.
You wouldn't even fucking bother.
I wouldn't even be online making videos.
What would be the point?
There would be none. See, this is the thing. If I just wanted to go online and offend people, I could just get online and say offensive things.
It'd still be pretty funny.
That would be funny. Yes, absolutely, 1,000%. But it's very different. Like, I'm picking a specific topic to speak about, is in ways that you could better yourself, because I want you to better yourself. So people tell me all the time I lack compassion. I completely disagree with that, because I think that what I'm doing is the compassionate thing. I'm trying to make you get better by exposing whatever lies it is that you tell to yourself. The people who lack compassion are the people who will sit there and say, it's okay that you're fat. It's okay that you're poor because of this. It's okay that you're depressed because of that. Because all they want to do is, once again, like we said earlier, pat themselves on the back and say, yay, I'm a good person because I said something nice to somebody. That doesn't benefit the person that you said the thing to, because now they're still there, and now they've got more coping mechanisms. They've got their little dopamine hit they get from the sympathy, and they're like, oh yay, somebody feels bad for me, and that makes me feel good about myself, and that lasts just long enough till they go find it from somebody else, and they keep living in their mediocrity and their stupid little cycle of nonsense.
Crowdsourcing mediocrity.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, fuck.
We live in a world of that.
Yes. Wow. This was a lot of fun. Guys, if you like what you saw, make sure you click subscribe. We're going to put all of Jason's stuff down below. Make sure you go follow him if you don't already. It's very important that you do. Most of you need to hear this.
I would agree with that.
Thank you for tuning in to the Justin Wenzel podcast. We're fucking out.